Monster fluid. Monster fluid. The issue when it comes to that is it removes the immersion from the game. So what happens then is you might not realize it, but as soon as you introduce bars into a game, you start staring at the bar, subconsciously or consciously, either or. And I still didn't get a fucking claw. I need claws. That's why I'm doing this, and I didn't get a single one. So when you start staring at bars, you don't realize it, but then you automatically you're no longer just playing the game, because now you might be playing the game, but it takes away a lot of the elements that Monster Hunter gives, and you don't realize it because you're so used to playing all these other games that have bars, you know, your Dark Souls type game, any game that has any type of boss fight, there's always, for the most part, some type of health bar that you're draining down, with the exception of like one of the best boss fights, Mario 64, when you fight Bowser. There's a clear, like, you hit him with the bomb, he falls over, you run up, you grab your tail, you throw him out, and you have to do that 3 times. No health bar required. You know what's going on. This is just an expansion on that, which is why, in my opinion, many of Monster Hunter veterans and elitists, as we would be called, there's so many tells for a monster. I actually have a really good idea. I want to go through and do a kill video for every monster in the game and show the different reactions so you can actually see and tell, because there is a lot of new players. It's crazy. Actually, fun fact, Monster Hunter World, when it was peaking, I think it was sitting like right around 350,000 concurrent players. On a regular basis, like 350,000 concurrent players on a regular basis. And then now with Wilds, it's like 1.5 million. So there's an extra million people that influxed into this game, that most of probably which are new to Monster Hunter just in general. And a lot of these people aren't going to be familiar with, you know, they would have never played 1, 2, 3 Generations Ultimate, none of them. And Capcom's vision for the game was, you know, you have to learn, just a casual extra million, yeah. You have to learn how to play. You have to put the time in to actually learn your weapons. Most games, like, you can figure out within a short time frame, because the actual loop of Monster Hunter isn't set. You can literally just grind this indefinitely until you've crafted everything, and even then still, well, then you can move into like speed running and like min-maxing to no extent. This is the people that reach HR 999, which is insane. But that's the core loop, and the reason for playing is because you're trying to master your weapon. You're trying to master the monster's reactions, when you should attack, when you shouldn't attack, when you should be guarding, when you shouldn't be guarding, when there's actually an opening, when you have enough time to do a big attack or a small attack, when you have to, you know, wait it out and be patient, how to react to the monster when it's enraged. All of these things is what you're supposed to be focusing on in the game. Slapping a health bar in there, well, now you might not realize it, and I feel like a lot of people might not realize it, is as soon as you do that, you remove most of the elements. Sure, you're still going to be thinking about it, but now it just becomes every other boss rush game ever. Now you're just worried about getting the bar from that side of the screen to 0. And it removes a whole element of the immersion of you're actually hunting this monster. You're learning its movements. You're stalking it. You're actually trying to become a better hunter. It's no longer a hunt then at that point. It's just make bar go 0. Yay. And that's the same, I mean, and a lot of people share that opinion. That's, I mean, most Monster Hunter players who've been playing for, 10 plus years, that's pretty much across the board. I do understand why new players, I was absolutely frustrated the first time I played. I completely hated it. It took me probably a good solid 8 hours of playing on my 3DS, which I know on one hand is like, oh, well, if you don't enjoy the game, like, what's the point of the game if you don't enjoy the game? It kind of falls in lines with the whole, like, you have to be able to, like, when people talk about you have to watch an anime, like, oh, if you can make it past the first 3 episodes of X anime, then it gets really good. It's kind of along the same lines as that, which, no, isn't the greatest marketing tool, but that's pretty much what it falls under. Hey, mount this guy yet? Banana bread? Fuck yeah. Yay, dead. I absolutely do think the health bar in Dark Souls is intrusive and it shouldn't be there. Because I do feel as though generally health bars do take away from the game. In certain circumstances, like arcadey type stuff, I firmly believe that, yeah, sure, but that's a different style of game. It's a different gameplay loop.